Okay, see Lindelof videos. Product rule, how and when to use the product rule. This is what I'm finding a lot with other teachers and professors, is that they seem to want to test you on your ability to use the product rule when they should really be possibly telling us, first off, how to use it, but then also when would you use it. So here's an example of when not to use it. This is not the example. Here's an example of when not to use it. F of x is equal to 2x times the quantity 2x squared plus x. In this case, my opinion is that this is not a good use of the product rule. I would just distribute this algebraically, and I would use sum and difference rule. So the when part of product rule is really important. And when I would say you would use it is when you can't easily combine functions to make one. So here's that case. We have x cubed times cosine x. Remember that this is cosine the argument x, so we can't do x cubed times that x in there. These are two different things happening. We have an x cubed, and we have cosine, a trigonometric cosine, of this argument value. Blah, blah, blah. On to how to use it. It's actually really, really easy. All we need to know is that f prime at x, using the product rule, is f of x times g prime at x plus g of x f prime at x. And somebody's going to say, I got them backwards. It's supposed to be g of x times f prime at x first. It doesn't matter. Proof, 2 plus 5 is 7. 5 plus 2 is 7. So we have commutative property of addition, and we have addition here. So it doesn't matter. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start building my list. And this is really a good piece of calculus, I believe, is to be a list builder, because calculus is important, so you want to be a little bit methodical about it. From here, I'm going to assign these things. I'm going to call this my f of x, where this is, right, f of x, and my f prime at x. And I'm going to call the second function my g of x. It doesn't matter, but I need to set it up this way, right? So then I'm going to start building my parts. It says here that I need an f of x, and I need an f prime at x. So f of x is defined here as x cubed, so x cubed. F prime at x is the first derivative of x cubed, which happens to be 3x squared, right? From here, I'm going to start, right, we need a g of x, and we need a g prime at x, so I'm going to build that. I get g of x is equal to cosine x, right? And we know that the first derivative of cosine is opposite sine, isn't it? So opposite sine x is its derivative. So I think this is pretty straightforward, right? So from here, I'm just going to go on and do this problem. I'm going to just kind of work it out piece by just putting these pieces in. F of x is x cubed. I got it from here. G prime at x is right here, and it says that it's sine of x. This plus sine is this one. It says I need g of x, which happens to be cosine x. Cosine x. And it says that I need my f prime, and my f prime at x, I use my g of x. Right here, I need my f prime at x, which is 3x squared. This thing doesn't do anything great, frankly, but it is a good application of this because I can't combine these two factors. So when I multiply this, I actually just get x cubed sine x. Remember, can't multiply the x cubed times the inner argument here. Nor can we do that here. So we get 3x squared cosine x is our answer. So, you know what, let's just do one more example really quick. But can you see how this is really helpful to know not just how to use the product rule, but when? When should you use it? Because it comes down to that on some of these exams and in some of these other classes that you end up taking. You need to be expedient. You need to be able to use the thing that you need to use. So ask yourself, what is the best tool to use? Is it the quotient rule? Is it the chain rule? Or when and is it the product rule? So the example I showed you first was not a product rule problem, in my opinion. It was a sum and difference rule problem. So, all right, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to do another video on this in just a minute. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Thanks. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do.